Nature has a way of reclaiming itself. There are examples of nature's reclaiming processes all around us. In the St. John Valley, the hillsides had been cleared for either crop production or animal pastures. With the disappearance of the small family farms and the use of heavy agricultural equipment to raise crops, the small and hilly fields are no longer in use. Nature then starts the reclaiming process. First, the bushes start to grow in the fields, and soon trees take over. In a few years, the once cleared fields become forests. This is nature's cycle. Nature also does the same along the roadways. The electric and telephone companies occasionally have to cut down the trees along the roadside to remove these away from the wires. Here we are along the Emerson School Road in Dago. Once, this road was part of the highway between Port Kent and Caribou. In the 1950s, this particular section of road was diverted, and soon it became only used by local traffic. In addition, the overhanging trees were preventing the sunlight from hitting the roadway and melting the snow. The bushes and the trees grew along the roadside and started to close in on the road. The road was becoming a tunnel under the treetops. Visibility to the motorist was obstructed, and the road was becoming unsafe. Nature then started to reclaim the road. The road was always icy. The town of New Canada has hired a logging company to remove the overhanging trees and bushes. What we are now seeing is the machinery clearing the roadway. This is January 12th, 2016, and we're here in New Canada with a spectacular piece of equipment. And here with me is
Paul Smart.
Paul Smart. Now, Paul, tell me about this piece of machinery.
This has a mulching head on it, which will cut small trees and larger trees and grind them all up.
Now, you're from where, Paul?
Or Kent.
You're from Port Kent. Now, how long have you been doing or using this piece of equipment?
Actually, yesterday was the first day with this piece. I just bought this, but I usually have the mulching head on a Bobcat.
On a Bobcat? Now, so is this whole, is it just the head on it, or is it the whole machine that's new?
The machine is new.
The machine is
Yeah,
new.
the head is the one I use with the Bobcat.
Now, you've been working in the woods for how many years?
32.
32 years in the woods. Now, do you work privately or do you work for a company?
It's either or.
Either or. So, and like right here, we're in New Canada right now, and it looks like you're trimming alongside the road. Is that the purpose?
Right.
Now, who are you working for the town of New Canada at the moment?
The town of New Canada, yeah.
The new and they're wanting this. I mean, I know the road was growing up in brush. They just wanted this cleaned out.
Well, you want to open up the roads because it'll let the sunlight in and keep the road dry. That way there it keeps the road in better condition.
Better condition on the road.
Yeah.
Now, how far will this machine reach off the road?
About 25 feet.
It'll go 25 feet. Is this the only type of head that you can put on this machine?
Well, there's other brands, but they all do about the same thing.
So this machine is strictly to do brushing.
The way it is right now, but I also have a bucket. It's just an excavator.
Oh, it's an excavator originally.
It was originally an excavator, and I took the bucket off, put the mulching head on it.
Now, can we see the mulching head?
Sure.
So this is the mulching head, Paul?
Yes. Well, I've done a lot of work. I bought my first one in 2008. This is the second head I bought. The other one, this one is designed here. That's.
Hang on.
Hang on.
Oh, I gotta see this.
You can put. I hook onto here with my skid steer.
Hang on, sweet. Yeah. This is.
Je veux dire toutes mes secrets de toi.
Oh, c'est pas des secrets, Paul. Je veux pas en savoir. Now, comment ça marche? On dit, what?
Well, it's hooked here with this unit here, but I can remove this, and then I put my Bobcat on this side, so I can run this unit on this excavator for bigger jobs, or I can use it with my Bobcat and go behind someone's house. I've gone over somebody's porch before in order to get able to get in behind the house. If you can't get in with a big piece of equipment, I can go with my Bobcat.
You go with your Bobcat,
Right?
Using the same piece of equipment.
Using the same head, and I can grind bushes or stumps. There's trees that have been cut down. I can grind stumps.
Well, I mean, I can see even for landowners. I mean, never mind the town, but landowners. I mean, if somebody has a nice big tree by their house or a stump they want to grind, I mean, you can actually do it for them.
Right, and it doesn't even. Most of the time, I won't even spoil the lawn.
No, I noticed on the track itself. I mean, this machine on the excavator itself. You've got a special track on here. It doesn't have large teeth.
No, well, they call these street pads, so it doesn't ruin the asphalt. But the downfall of these is like, well, since we got the rain, it's very slippery. So it's just like a pair of skates.
So it's on a skate, so it doesn't get into the road bed.
It doesn't get into the road bed, but you can go backwards just as fast as you can go forwards.
Now, so when you go work somewhere else, so if you're going to use it as an excavator, you take off the track, put
No, it'll usually when you use it as an excavator, you're tearing up the ground in front of you anyway. So you're always running on a smooth surface. But as far as for all around, unless you're going to be cutting wood in the woods, this is the much better all around track.
So normally, do you work out in the woods itself, or do you just work for private?
Well, I used to have my own harvesting equipment, and I sold that this fall, and I bought this excavator because I wanted to change, and I was tired of cutting wood, so I've got some work with this, and might be going down to Machias to do a blueberry ground.
Blueberry ground.
Yeah. They cut all the trees down, and the blueberries are established, so they want the stumps ground down so they can harvest the blueberries.
So they're really making blueberry barrens.
They're making blueberry barrens.
Very interesting. Well, thank you again. This is great. Appreciate it, Paul.
Okay.
Paul and his machine continue to clear the roadside. All the trees and the brush are reduced to fine chips. These will quickly decompose and return their nutrients to the soil. The chips will also hold the roadside from any erosion.
This was once a stand of large trees. It's been chipped using Paul's chipper mounted on an excavator. It'll take some large trees and shreds it into these fine wood chips, which really turn into mulch. Now this is a stand of trees that he's next coming in to chip. This section of the road, as you can see, is pretty well grown over, and the branches need to be removed to widen the road for public safety. The trees themselves, some of these, are at least 10 inches in diameter. making his approach on the trees. You can hear the whining of the trimmer head. Actually wearing down the tree, starting at the top and working his way down to the ground. This tree's at least 12 inches in diameter, or at least was, and now it's been ground up into a fine wood chip. Now he's going for the rest of the tree. See how this would grind stumps. He's got this right next to the ground. It's wearing down the stump. another large tree here, but it's awful close to the wires. Just a few minutes, that tree has just been shredded. It just reached here. Now he's actually cleaning the ground around it, all the branches and all the twigs that were around the tree. All the brush that was there just been cleaned away. Just cleaning up the ground, just making a nice roadside. This will really increase the visibility for the people that travel down this road.
Paul Smart of Highland Logging for showing us this useful piece of equipment. Not only can this be used to clear roadsides, but it can also be used to clear trails. It could also be used to clear house lots or other site preparation work. Notice how this cleared stretch of Emerson School Road is now more open and safer for motorists.